How are you, man?
Good. Good hard Tuesday practice. Got a lot of worked on our first down, second down stuff, goal line, short yardage. Good work day. Continuing to get better. Still a work in progress. And hope it's got to keep grinding out here and get all the little things ironed out. Work these kids' tails off and let them keep getting better. Questions?
Noticed at center today that Hofeld was taking reps with the first team. What's the situation there?
Nothing. Just mixing up some guys. Just giving some reps with the ones in case he has to go in the game. Martinez is our center. You guys make too much of everything.
And we got to ask.
Why? You think we start somebody else after he played a good game? Question.
Keith Bryant was sitting out for the beginning portion.
Got hurt. Got hurt in that game with on the knee or twisted the knee, and that when he hobbled off the field in that game. He should be fine, but he just hobbled today.
How important is in today's football to have guys like Giorgio, DeMarcus that you can put inside as interior pass rushers?
Oh, that's the game. The game's a specialist game, just like you do receivers and nickel backs and dime backs. It's a specialist game everywhere. You got receiving backs out of the backfield, you got running backs, you got nickel packages, you got dime packages, you got pass rush groups. That kind of stuff. The more versatile you are, the more you play.
What do those guys interior of the defense do specifically?
Oh, they're more athletic. You got more burst, more athleticism, more length to create pass rush, create problems.
How important was it you guys seemed like you got the substance so quickly against that kind of tempo. How pleased were you with?
Good. We were organized, structured, and guys were, recognized stuff we've worked on extremely hard, and they did a good job of recognizing, especially for young players.
You saw that so much last year. Is it just guys that experience on defense are used to seeing the high tempo offense?
We saw them the year before. We saw them every year. Just like I said today, when a player wants to be a good player, he's a good player. If a guy wants to make his mind up, he can do things right, he can do things right. So these guys got a great attitude and working hard.
With the wide receivers and the tight ends blocking on the second level, is this something that you didn't see in the early part of fall camp that didn't really buy in?
Well, I think not that they don't buy in, just got to know who to block and how to block and the way runs come out and their assignments. But that hopefully continues to grow and you'll hopefully get better as weeks go on.
Do you ever have those feelings or those times where you just like, see, told you this person's going to be here, pick up this block? And
Hopefully all the time. That means we're coaching well. I hope we do that a lot.
How did Trey Marshall end up doing on Saturday?
Solid. Had a good solid game. A solid football game.
What kind of strides is he making year one to year two?
Well, he's had one game, so we'll wait and see. But we're pleased where he's at right now, and he's starting and doing a good job.
Do you look at this almost as a short week because your kickoff's so early?
No, you can't. We'll have a normal week of practice. But we had rest time and coming out of camp, we ought to be good.
Will the early kickoff help with, because next week is a short week,
well,
a few extra hours?
It does, in that regard it does. We're a day short, so allow us more preparation time and stuff on Sundays and late Saturdays after the game.
Will you do that on Saturday? And is that
no doubt?
Do you normally do that, or is that
no? I'll grade the film after on Saturday, but I'll get the film graded and then get a jump like I would on my Sunday work, hopefully Saturday and Saturday night.
But normally Saturday night, you probably after an afternoon, you probably decompress a little bit, right?
Well, you got to grade the film.
Right.
I got to grade the offense, defense, special teams. The guys there grade their sides of the ball, and I grade all of it, and then get together.
You'll jump into South Florida, Boston College on Saturday.
Oh yeah, and sometimes I do, depending on the opponent. Sometimes I do, depending on what kind of how much wear and tear has been on the week that week. Sometimes I still do on Saturday.
Does it help the 11:30 kickoff in that regard with a short week?
I hope so.
Right.
We're gonna find out.
Right.
But it doesn't hurt, that's for sure.
How did those young defensive linemen do when they got in?
Well, I thought Christmas and Spurts did really well. Arthur's getting better. Fred Jones is coming on, making some real nice progress. These guys did a good job. They're getting better, and the more you play them, the better they're gonna get.
Fred Jones was a guy that a lot of people, recruiting-wise, wasn't as highly thought of. What did you guys like about him even from the beginning?
Explosive. You're throwing a shot put over 60 feet. You got lower body explosion. You can run. He's got girth. He's a shorter guy, but he's not a little guy. He's 305 pounds. You know what I mean? He's strong. He can play with leverage and can bend.
Can you change up in practice routine because next week you got the short?
No, not this week. We'll change next week.
Dalvin and Mario being like this really solid one-two punch, how do you think that helps with, easing Everett into games considering he's still learning the offense, or does that really matter?
Well, when you can run the football, that's a quarterback's best friend. You got to block it and you got to do all the things around him, but when you can run the football, it is a quarterback's best friend, and it does allow him comfort zone of being able to pick up yards, so you're hopefully not in a lot of, if you can run the football, you're generally not in a lot of third and long situations, and that's what defenses always obviously want you in. So, and it gets you your play actions better, so it makes people respect, maybe give you more time on throws, but that's why you got to be able to run the ball.
Was what you did Saturday kind of a good blueprint for that as far as establishing the run and opening up the pass later on?
Yes, it did. Some games it may be, some games it may not be.
For a relatively new offensive line, the thing that stood out the most is only 2 penalties.
Yeah. Actually had 3. We had 2 motions and we had a hold. 77 had a hold. in that deal. But yeah, and that's still 3 2 minutes, so you got to get those running backs.
Who were some of the best running back duos you've coached over the years?
Oh wow! I mean, you had James Bostic and Steve Davis. You had Brandon Tofield, Dominic Davis. We had Joe Adai, Justin Vincent, Chiron Carey. I mean, had I think who else was in there? Oh, Ali Broussard with Justin Vincent and that whole crew. I mean, there were some really good guys. I mean, and here it's probably the first time we've had the depth that we've had here since I've been here. I mean, but I'm gonna tell you, Wilder and Freeman weren't bad either now. I mean, you go Wilder and Freeman were pretty strong in that group. Anton Smith. But we didn't have really a second at that time. We did. Preston Parker should have played in there. Preston was a natural back.
In those groups at LSU, did you play them together much?
Some. We did. Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Yeah, we did play them together.
Did the coaches ask Mario this, and I can't remember what he said. Did the coaches tell him when to replace each other, or do they kind of?
No, we do it. We do it. We guys, we call a certain number of plays, certain things we like to do. We can, or by body language on the field, or those communication signs they'll give us.
Or if they're one of them's tired, he'll wave.
They can wave them in. Yep. Okay. If they're both in there, they ain't coming out. So get in there and shut up.
Some of it's a guy's hot. I mean, you see that a lot of times too.
Yeah, a guy gets hot, you don't want to take him out either. If he's rolling and going good, that's exactly right.
I'm sure you saw a lot of Dunn and Preston back in the days. Do these guys remind you of that at all? Combo these guys, because both kind of explosive backs.
Yeah, they are in that regard. These guys are bigger though. I think these guys are bigger than Warwick and Preston are. But I'm gonna tell you what, now those guys, Brock Preston and Warwick Dunn can get it done. Now that's pretty good.
Especially on those little flare passes, right?
You can't forget. Well, you guys keep forgetting Sammy Smith, Dexter Carter now. Marion Butch, daggone. I mean, that was a pretty good group right there. That was 2 first-round draft picks now, and Edgar Bennett in that group too. Now that was a pretty good combo right there too. Now look at you slipping on your Florida State issue.